Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, principal of Simply Improve Health, and I help people to train better and longer and recover more quickly, have improved sleep, and enjoy better quality of health using simple plant-based and native to the body products and simple techniques. This evening's live is a follow-up to the weekend that I spent in the New Forest. It was a fantastic experience, and I thank my co-facilitator William Flay for inviting me along. It was absolutely wonderful, and I'd like to share with you just a little bit of the experience of losing yourself in the forest and finding yourself at the same time. Now, we have that expression, you can't see the forest for the trees, but you stop and take your time and give yourself space, you start to actually see the individual trees as opposed to this just mass of stuff of green. And that was, in essence, what the magic of the forest was about. I mean, we didn't just spend time in the forest. We were also very close to the sea, or about half an hour's drive away, and spent a lovely, lovely day at the beach. Sun was beautiful. You could see the Isle of Wight a short distance away, and the needles, these rocks that stick up out of the water. But it was really the forest that had the most profound effect, I think, for the people who attended the weekend, and it was a chill out weekend. But mindfulness in the sense that to be aware of not just where you are, but who you are, and what's going on with you, to pay attention, in other words. We're so busy rushing about in our daily lives that we don't pay attention to very much. We skim along the surface, but we don't really penetrate beyond the surface. And mindfulness reminds us that we're more than just bodies walking around with souls walking around in bodies. And the spirit of the forest was a good reminder of that. I mean, one of the days we had a short walk through the forest, and one of the places we stopped at, which was actually a fancy manor house that's become a hotel. Somebody back in I believe the 1700s had planted California redwoods and sequoia trees. And these are young trees, but even 10 of us couldn't, with hands linked, couldn't bring ourselves to reach all the way around the tree. And those were just youngsters. You know, they lived 2,000 years, and the stories they could tell. One thing about being in the presence of such fantastic trees is that you really get a sense of your importance or lack thereof in the world. They've seen so much, they're silent sentinels, um, but they contain so much wisdom, so much knowledge that you have to really tune in to be able to tap into it. Earth wisdom, not book wisdom, but earth wisdom. But wandering through the woods, as each of us, whether as a group or separately at different times of the day, we each found something of ourselves, whether to something to incorporate in ourselves, as well as to things to drop away along with the leaves that were falling from the trees. It was quite a Zen experience, I guess you could say. But one of the interesting things that took place, and there were many interesting things that took place, but I had done a workshop during the weekend about the healing that comes from the natural world in the form of vibrational essences, flower essences, and what have you. And as part of the activities, we made a group essence. And that was just an amazing experience because I had asked people during the course of the day before, to gather things from that embodied the forest for them. So people brought back things like a moss-covered branch, acorns and pine cones, and different berries that they may have found, feathers from some of the different birds, migratory birds passing through. And that was placed in a circle around the bowl of water that the essence was going to be made from. But we had not only had we had um, a period where we're bringing the gifts from the forest to be part of this, the energy of this essence, bringing the forest into the essence. But we chanted, we sang, we had a fantastic sound healing with crystal bowls and other instruments, and that was just absolutely amazing. And all of that energy was surrounding the bowl of water where the essence was being made. And extraordinary. I know this is going to be an absolutely off the hook essence. I don't know what it does yet, but I do know it's captured, really encapsulating the mood of the weekend, and of the people and the shifting that went on. I mean, some of the shifts people shared at the end of the weekend, but some of the shifts we could actually visibly see happening. For example, someone had uh, found a horse chestnut that was still encased in its prickly outside casing. But you know, some people would just say, "Oh, it was just the heat of the room and the candles and everything that caused this half-open shell to actually open, showing the horse chestnuts inside." And that was so indicative of the process that the particular person who had picked up that horse chestnut, um, that we were just we all just kind of had our mouths fall open in surprise. It was really synchronicity at its best. It was a visible sign of the changes that this person was experiencing during the weekend. And there were other moments like that, whether we were walking in the forest, or walking at the beach and taking pictures and just kind of communing together. And for me, the most exciting thing of all was the simplest of gifts. And I think I got it here. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on a minute. Ah, yes, there it is. This is my gift from the group. They, plus a few little things that I added, but this was everyone's little gift to me, to as a reminder of the forest, and it's beautiful. I love it. It sits on my mantelpiece in my sitting room. Absolutely lovely. Thank you, folks. And that was one of the many gifts that the forest imparted upon us. It was time out to take stock, see where we were, and where we would like to be, what we needed to bring more of into our lives, or what we needed to release from our lives. And the time of year and the phase of the moon actually played very well into this. The weather was absolutely amazing as well. We had one day of rain, but that was the day that everyone went within and really got with themselves. And some, may have gotten with themselves even with the rain and went out. I forgot my wellies, and my feet got a little wet, so I didn't go outside. But never mind. I had time to myself, as did everyone else, and it was essential. And that was what created the space for the healing of nature to actually be able to do its work. And work it did, but it was work that brought nothing but joy to us all. It was just an amazing experience, and um, I would highly recommend to you that if you can, get lost in the woods. And if you can't get lost in the woods or in the forest somewhere, or a forest, go to your local park. Even if it's a small park, go, if there's gardens nearby that you can visit, do that. Um, just get out into nature. Nature gives you that time and space, as long as you're not rushing past it, to be able to relax your mind. Number one, the color green is very relaxing. Enjoy the fall colors at the moment. Even in the depths of winter, you can find beauty in nature. It gives us the time and space, especially this time of year. The days are drawing in and getting shorter. It's darker for longer hours. Take advantage during those fleeting daylight hours to get out in nature, to look at the sky, to look at the trees, and to see the leaves falling off the trees. Get out there, because getting lost in the woods is the best way to find yourself. Getting out into nature is the best way to understand who you are. In fact, it's Einstein who said that. He said, if you understand that nature, you will understand yourself. You will understand the nature of man, because we're part of the natural world, whether we like it or not. So that's my little story, my little follow-up. There'll be a photo gallery to give you a flavor of the weekend when this post goes up after the live. But I would challenge you, if you're not getting enough green in your life, if you're not getting enough of nature in your life, even if it's just growing a plant indoors, get in touch with nature, because you'll be getting in touch with yourself. That's it from me. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on replay, do say so. It helps me to know when people watch on replay. If you have any comments, please leave them. I'm always happy to respond. And if you like, leave some emojis, some love hearts, some thumbs up, whatever it is. Thanks again. Have a lovely evening, a great weekend, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.